Hey all, Chastity here with another American Horror Story character deep dive for you. He's played the Antichrist and an aerobics instructor. Today we're spotlighting newcomer Cody Fern.
Those who make it live. Those who don't end up like my horses.
Just a little lonely.
Cody Fern has only appeared in seasons 8 and 9 of American Horror Story, but he's already made his mark. Part of the reason he began his AHS career playing the grown-up Michael Langdon, aka the Antichrist. We first met Michael Langdon at the very end of Murder House, when he killed his babysitter. He's the murderous offspring of Vivian Harmon and Tate Langdon.
Now what am I gonna do with you?
Years later, we caught up with Michael for season 8 of Apocalypse. Constance Langdon raised her grandson, since both of his parents were spirits in the murder house. He wasn't always 100% evil, but let's just say it wasn't easy. As a young child, Michael had uncontrollable urges to kill. This, of course, included the nanny and small animals around the house. It progressed further. Michael killed a priest sent to help him, strangled his grandma to near death, and oh, let's not forget, aged a decade overnight. Kinda like the evil version of Tom Hanks in Big. When Grandma Constance couldn't take it anymore, she took her own life. This destroyed Michael, coupled with the fact that as a spirit of the house, she didn't want to see her grandchild. Thankfully, Ben Harmon took the role of father figure for Michael. They grew close and seemed to be making progress. But then Tate, Michael's somewhat biological father, intervened and rejected his monster of a son.
Not even I could create something as monstrous, as evil as you.
There's some demonic truth to this. Satan used Tate Langdon as a conduit to conceive a child with Vivian, so Michael is the devil's son. He is neither the son of Tate Langdon nor Ben Harmon. After Tate's rejection, Michael receded further into darkness. Every spirit in the house was terrified of Michael's emerging powers. Then the Satanists arrived to the murder house. They sacrificed an innocent woman waiting for her bus, and ta-da, the Antichrist was born. We later learned that the murder house is a literal hellmouth, and the constant battle between good and evil is never ending. One of the Satanists, Miss Mead, took Michael in as her own. Not the ideal parental figure for an adolescent Antichrist. One day at the market, Michael kills the butcher after he refused to sell Mead a goat's head for a ritual. So he goes to jail. But then Ariel Augustus, from the Hawthorne School of Exceptional Young Men, breaks him out and brings him to the Warlocks HQ. They believe that Michael could possibly be the Alpha, a warlock that could help balance their ongoing fight with the Coven witches. Michael surpasses all of their wildest warlock imaginations.
What are those things for?
Motivation.
Anything else? You want me to dust up here?
And they pressure Cordelia Good to administer the 7 Wonders test. At first, the witches reject the mere idea of a warlock taking the test, but then Michael frees Queenie from Hotel Cortez, something that even Cordelia couldn't do, and Madison from her retail hell. Clearly, he proved his point. Michael passes the 7 Wonders and brings Misty Day back from the dead, and Cordelia has no choice but to name him as the next Supreme. Fortunately, this also meant that the entire Coven was reunited, and together they would be the only challenge standing in Michael's way. This would lead to a series of crazy events that could only take place in American Horror Story, including Cordelia burning the Warlocks and Mead at the stake. Michael goes on a vision quest and winds up at the Church of Satan, where he would meet Madeline, who would introduce him to Mutt and Jeff at Caneros Robotics.
Maybe they have the answers.
Really, they seem like a bunch of coked out nerds to me.
Rude.
They would form the Cooperative and blow up the Earth with nukes. Michael successfully pulls off the apocalypse, killing off the majority of mankind. All that was left were a few outposts, where select individuals, those with money, are sheltered. Unfortunately for Michael, he didn't plan on the arrival of Mallory and her gift of Tempus Infinitum, the magical ability to change past events and alter history. Mallory is the only witch strong enough to take down Michael, but it takes the entire Coven to do so. Using Tempus Infinitum, Mallory goes back in time, rents an SUV, and runs over Michael. His grandma lets him die in the street, knowing exactly the type of monster he truly is. That brings us to AHS 1984, where Cody Fern is playing the much more likable and less sinister Xavier Plimpton. But who knows really, he might have an incredibly shady past, as many characters in the show have proved. Xavier is a big-time aerobics instructor at Perfect 10 Aerobics Studio in Los Angeles, and he takes his job seriously. Now this is LA, so of course Xavier is also a struggling actor. And much like aerobics, he takes this pretty seriously as well.
I'm a serious actor. I trained at Stella Adler. I'm method.
What we know for sure, however, is that Xavier has worked in the adult entertainment industry. He had a history of past drug abuse and was found in a park by a man named Blake. Blake talked Xavier into gay porn, who was hoping it would help his acting career. Blake was also a bit controlling, forcing Xavier to get back in front of the camera against his own will.
But you are a goddamn Rembrandt. Do you think that I would give up a Rembrandt?
That is, until Xavier told Blake about Trevor's talents. Unfortunately, Blake was caught peeping on the guys during their shower time. It doesn't end up well for him. What else do we know about Xavier? Well, taking the counselor jobs at Camp Redwood was his idea. He lets the entire crew know about the summer gigs as a means to get out of LA because of the Night Stalker's terror and the approaching crowds for the '84 Olympics. So are there any other skeletons in Xavier's closet? It's American Horror Story, so probably yes. We're told that he met Montana while driving to an audition for MASH, but we're not sure we should believe this story. We know that Montana can't be trusted, so should we even trust Xavier? I hope so, but we'll have to wait and see. Which Cody Fern performance is the best? The correct answer is both of them, but let us know your favorite in the comments below and tell us who we should spotlight next. See you soon.